I'm stuck with the sauce.
Good drip.
But she love you, don't cut your... Renault Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
They call a podcast Poppy. Kinkos, I see they tryna copy. Diamonds in the chains, bust down wrists. And you ain't never seen no like this. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when the drop, whole game in the chokehold.
I be out on a late night, opposite a play fight. See sign break night, this break night. My wristwatch is like a break light. And you can get it right on your gravesite. So tell me something I don't know. $50 pizza when I'm eating in Soho. I heard that you in love with the stuff in your...
Give me some Ingram. It's a coach. You're locked into Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Mark Ingram, fresh off a big performance a weekend ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting New Orleans Saints taking on the New York Giants. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the New Orleans Saints. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback, a multiple-time Pro Bowler. It's, of course, Eli Manning.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that. But he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Manning now on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Manning to try again after the pick 6. And he's Saints. Alex Anzalone. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former Pitt Panther, Tom Savage.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The numbers for Thomas from last week's effort. 8 catches, 97 yards, and a touchdown.
Look, I know everybody wants to be #1 in everything they do, but he's #2 in the league in receiving yards. That's a strong number, a strong year, and they want that to continue.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be a 2nd down. And a look now at the offense for New Orleans.
And we'll see the second half of their dynamic duo in the backfield, and that's Alvin Kamara, who in 2017, the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. How about this? Over 1,500 total yards and 13 total touchdowns in a debut performance. Expect more of the same and probably a little bit extra.
And Josh Hill has it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. A look at the starters now on the defensive side of the ball for the Giants. They've been pretty good against the pass. Not amazing, but good. Number 13 in the league.
And the easy thought process is that stopping the run is the least of their problems because they're facing the #1 passing team in the NFL. But if they don't stop the run as well, then that just opens up the passing game even more. They've got to do both.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Here's Savage now on 2nd. Open space inside the 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. First reception for him, and remember, he leads the NFL in that category here in this first month. Also has a 1st down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Now Savage looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead.
I do believe we came here to see a game, didn't we? And it looks like he's running what we call routes versus air. You just go out there with your offensive unit and throw the football with no defense. He's 5 for 5 on the opening drive.
He was on his game there for drive #1, but my only thing is now he can't go any higher than that. He was so perfect. Can he do it again later?
Yeah, all he cares about right now is making it 10 for 10, 15 for 15.
Keeping that going.
And he feels like he can get it done.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
A key cog in this passing attack is Evan Ingram, who was a rookie out of Mississippi in 2017. Gave the Giants 722 yards through the air and a whole lot of excitement building for his future in 2018 and beyond. Drafted as a tight end, plays more like a wide receiver, able to get downfield and win one-on-one routes against defensive backs.
That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Manning. He hits his target, the tight end Adams. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. J-Ron Elliott not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. I was waiting for them to get there first because the momentum they carry from last week, unbelievable. They had a snowman, 8 sacks.
You were surprised that it took this long, and this isn't that long, truthfully. But here's the thing. If you've seen that on tape, your offensive line is going to have to ask for help. Tight end has to stay in. If you use a fullback, keep him in. Make sure you have extra people to try and keep your quarterback upright. Didn't work on that play. Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Janoris Jenkins with good coverage that time as he was able to get in there and knock it away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape, 1st and 10. A 1st down carry for Barkley. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. That's now 4 tackles for loss if you add the 3 he had last week to the 1 here in the 1st quarter.
And some of it comes from vision.
And he's hit and taken down. Eli sacked. Alex Anzalone In from his linebacker spot, he's able to drop him for a loss of about 10.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. On 3rd and long, it's Madden, and this is going to be incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his 2nd season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star. It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
This is a catch by Ted Ginn. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 19 yards that time for number 19.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now inside the red zone, Savage. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Savage now to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down. This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face another 1st and goal.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Again throwing. It's Savage. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints defense ready to set up shop again here. And they've created a major first-half storyline with the pressure they've been able to create.
And I know that the good teams adjust from series to series. They make their adjustments on.
Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Check 26, check 26.
Here's Manning to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
And you remember pre-draft, there's a lot of speculation that the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Alex Anzalone in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. On play action, it's Manning. And his throw is incomplete. Brandon Coleman was the intended target. And it's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Manning, and that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. Here's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Here's Ginn. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Eli Manning and company getting set here as they head back onto the field. He has not had the start to this game that he envisions here in the 2nd quarter. He's struggling a little bit. But, hey, they're in the lead right now. So, kind of what's going on in his head, do you think, Charles?
I think that's what he has to keep in mind. Winning the ball game is not going the way he wants in terms of his own play. But, oh, yeah, that's right, winning the ball game. So don't press. Don't try and do things outside of what's going on right now. Don't try to increase your game or get yourself right. Just make sure you continue to lead your ball club and keep them moving in the right direction.
Yeah, they've got that lead so far. 1 interception for him, no touchdown passes. They'll fake the handoff with Savage. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Hooked by Darian Thompson. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Here's a give to Barkley, and the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Throwing on 1st down is Manning. And this is caught at the 8th. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Evan Ingram, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to draw a bit closer.
It used to be that if you were a big wide receiver and the coaches wanted to make you a tight end, you resisted the move. Now it's almost a glamour position because they have the mismatch advantage. Are you going to cover them with a linebacker? They're probably faster. A defensive back? They're going to be bigger. Tight end is the new big-time position.
Fighting him off. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On second down, Ingram. And he's got room. Look at this spin.
Balance.
And he's brought down after a good gain. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Mark Ingram really coming into form in the NFL. First 5 years in the league, didn't have a 1,000-yard season, but he's done it the past 2 years.
Yeah, and I think a couple of reasons for that. Number one, offensive line has been rebuilt, and they put a lot of resources into that, and they've gotten better. Number two, he's had great running mates back there. Tim Hightower 2 seasons ago. Then last year, of course, the sensational Alvin Kamara. And last but not least, the defense is playing so much better in New Orleans. They don't have to throw the ball as much on offense. He can run the ball even more. But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Here's Savage. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, 5, and he will score. Touchdown, Giants. He is a difference maker at the linebacker position. He had a pick six last year, remember it, but it's different for those guys, isn't it, than a corner or a safety?
It certainly is because sometimes they're pattern reading. It's in what the receivers are doing. Sometimes they're spot dropping, just getting to a place on the field and finding the quarterback and going to the ball. But remember this, these linebackers, at one time in their life, a lot of them were running backs, and they love having the ball back in their hands and making big moves towards the end zone.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Here is Savage. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. 2 touchdowns for him already in this first half. This one good for a first down.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
The first down throw coming. Savage. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The tight end Josh Hill was the target. And that'll bring up second down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Savage now. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And it'll bring up third down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And he locates Josh Hill, complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Now let's go. Boom.
Savage wants to throw yet again. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Now Lutz for the field goal try. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And New York set to take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
On 2nd down, here's Bartlett. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I can put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
He was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And we shift our attention to Mark Ingram. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means...
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next year?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
To throw, it's Manning. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Throwing is Manning on third down. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Alex Anzalone getting him once again. His third sack of the afternoon. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg it. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. To return it, Alvin Kamara. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here's Savage. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. And now it's third down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. We'll remind you once again, coming up at halftime, we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He's got stats and scores from around the NFL as we wrap up the first month of the season.
No longer is he a rookie. The coach, a true veteran now.
A crafty veteran. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with third and about 6 yards to go.
Well, those Giant fans, you know that they love seeing Saquon Barkley wearing their jersey, but it's interesting. He actually grew up a Jets fan.
I wonder what his dad was thinking, what Big Al was thinking on draft night. Had to be so happy for his son, but they grew up watching Jets games, just sit together, watch it. In fact, Dad has a Jets tattoo.
Yes.
Okay, so that tells you about how much he loves that team. You think Saquon's going to fix that and make it a Giants tattoo?
Yeah, he wants to make that a Giants tattoo. That family, though, they fully converted. They're supporting the G-Men. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Now let's go!
To throw on second down is Savage. This is caught by Gibb. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now a play fake here on first down. He hits his target, left side, Watson. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Savage from the 50. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
You got to give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Here's Savage on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now Savage, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Josh Hill in the final seconds of the first half, and the Saints add on to their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
And just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Lutz with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This will be taken very short. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone. A lot to get to here this final day of September. So let's get started. We'll get our tour started out at venerable Soldier Field in Chicago, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Jameis Winston, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. From there, let's get over to Arizona to check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And at halftime, they trail the visiting Seahawks in that ball game. Russell Wilson with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, we're off to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Devontae Freeman, 88 yards on the ground.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
On 1st and 10, Savage on target over the middle to Hill, and he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. It's brought in right side by Ginn. And he gets it down to the 32. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A handoff. It's Mark Ingram. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
All right, here we go. Blue line.
Savage on first. And this one's incomplete. Cameron Meredith, the intended target. And that'll bring up second down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there, because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Have they showed him things different than what he expected?
And they're going to sack him again. The 5th time they've gotten him today, and this one results in a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the time times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a second down.
Come on, let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
Now a handoff to Ingram. Ingram's got the first down and more. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. Whoosh. And now running right through it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. New York set to take the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. A handoff to Barkley. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now Manning. And this is going to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now it's Ginn. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he did not knock that.
Throwing again. Barrett. Thomas has got it. Complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Here we go. Try at 38. Try at 38.
They're running. Ingram. And some space here. And he is down deep into Giant territory. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward.
Well, there's the danger of selling out on 4th and short. So many guys flood the line of scrimmage that you're left very thin on the 2nd and 3rd levels. And they took big advantage of it there. Not just picking up a first down, but ripping off a huge gain on top of it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Barrett now on 2nd down. His throw incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
To throw is Barrett. This will be caught at about the 6. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. They'll run for it. It's Ingram. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Credit the tackle to Kurt Coleman.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
I feel like Eli Manning has just gone from downfield bomber to a guy who can complete everything.
He can hit him underneath now, can't he?
Yeah, we just saw that there with that pass completion. The maturity of a veteran taking what the defense will give him.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better. And he's hit taken down. Eli sacked. Cameron Jordan, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. That's complete to Meredith. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Kamara. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the 2nd level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Back to throw Barrett. And that is incomplete. Strong safety Landon Collins, the one who got a hand in there, knocked it away. So now 4th down looming. Remember, these guys went for it on their last drive, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, even though it didn't work out, I would not be surprised at all if they went ahead and did it again.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Darn right.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Manning to throw on 2nd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a gain of 9 yards. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Working from the gun, Manning to Shepard, complete over the middle. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And the surge is going to be too much defensively. He's hit and taken down to the backfield. He needed a couple, but he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape.
Everyone gears up for third down, talks about the importance of it. But fourth down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. And, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts on fourth down.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Here we go. Grand 38. Grand 38.
Barrett looks to throw on first. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. That'll bring up second down.
But there was no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
Here's Barrett on play action. That's caught. It's Thomas. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Traquan Smith, his second touchdown on the season. And the Saints just continue to roll.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35, but make it the 40-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
On 1st and 10, here's Manning. Looking sideline, incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. To throw, it's Manning. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
When you put together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there. Let's not forget, a year ago, this was a last-place team in their division in the National Football League. How quickly the fortunes can turn.
And somewhere, there's a former commissioner smiling down and looking because parity is something he was looking for in this league, and it plays itself out year after year. Last to first is not something that's uncommon in the NFL.
Yeah, season ago, they didn't have one performance like this, but they put it all together in this ball game. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll throw again from their own end zone. Incomplete. Thomas, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a 1st down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Sterling, go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Olivier Vernon brings him down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
To throw on third down. Barrett, and he locates Josh Hill, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
And a sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. They run. It's Mark Ingram. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
On third down, Barrett. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
They go play action here on first down. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Mark Hertzlick in on the stop. So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Again, they'll run with Ingram. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Mario Edwards Jr. there to bring him down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
This defense can use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
And Lutz's kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Eli Manning getting ready to go again on offense. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes about him saying, hey, guess what? We've got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
Back to the air on second down. It's Madden. Open man right side is Ingram. And down he'll go at the 25. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now Madden. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start. Yeah,
this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. On 2nd down, Barrett. And Thomas has it. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football. Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the gun on 3rd down, Barrett, he is going to find Hill here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a 1st down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Come on, let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
That one looks like he'll throw here. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say, if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be second down. On second down, here's Manning. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now out come the Giants. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches, be honest, don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Here's Manning to throw. And that's complete to Lewis. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. And they convert on third with a gain of 22. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for New Orleans, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they will head home next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Hey, I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp, I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo. Shorty wanna me cousin wearing gold. I came up and made it happen, now it's by the stove. Big inside this cases one do me dirty, I'ma find you lay out on the floor. 19 with a I got rich by myself. Rather do this alone, I wasn't asking for no help. They keep asking how I'm winning with the card that I was dealt. Boy, I work hard for the seat and I ain't buckling my belt. Call my brother on the phone, he said, broski, you a star. I said, brother, hold it down, soon we'll all be living large. And it's crazy how last year was on my garage. Now I'm in a good position for this life, can't sabotage. I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching.
You have a big decision to make about one of your players.
Telling on my bros, ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my